Alright, what's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel, man. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. This is not my first time trying YouTube, man. I tried YouTube about a year ago, but I'm gonna be real. I wasn't being myself for real. So it was, to me, I could tell I wasn't being myself. So it was kind of hard for me to go through with it. So I only did one video, but like I said, I wasn't really being myself. So I ended up taking it down. And then, a year later, here we are, you feel me? And it's funny how God works, though, because literally, in my life at least, he's given me opportunities twice for sure. Because the first time around, he'll give me an opportunity, and I won't really be in the position or the place to really fulfill it and really like go through with it. But then the second time around, I'll usually be in a way better space, like mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and I'll be able to really go through it and fulfill it to the fullest. So I feel like this time around, that's kind of the case. Like, it's a lot more purposeful, it's a lot more intentional, and it's for the right reasons, man. I feel like last year it was more so just a whole lot. It was a me thing, but this year it's really a God thing for real, man. So it's really a blessing that I'm just in the position to try it again and go for it fully, But really, I'm gonna give y'all an introduction on myself, because I did not do that, man. My name's Hudson, and I'm 20 years old, man. I'm originally from Lowell, Massachusetts. It's not too far from Boston, but it's not Boston, man. And I live in Washington right now, though. I've been out here for like 7 years, since high school. So yeah, like 7 years. So it's been cool out here. It's been a cool vibe. It was definitely a culture shock when I moved out here, but it's been a cool vibe. And I'm at a real pivotal point in my life. I feel like 20 years old, and I feel like when I'm 30, I want to be looking back at my 20-year-old self, like being thankful and having gratitude to what I did at 20, rather than looking back and regretting what I was doing at 20, man. So it's a real pivotal point in my life, and a real intentional point in my life, because I'm trying to set myself up for a good future, you feel me? So honestly, like, even just with this YouTube stuff, I'm really just gonna be documenting my life, man. I'm not really gonna be doing like, I'm not gonna be trying to force the whole self-improvement stuff on myself, or just like I don't want to fake it to y'all. Like, I just want to document my life for real and just show y'all, the real and what's going on, the ups and downs and all that, man. So it's really what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to showcase to y'all, man, because, like I said, I don't want to do the whole fake self-improvement stuff. Shout out to everyone that's, on that type of vibe, I'm also on that vibe too, I'm a productive person, and I'm definitely trying to improve myself, but I don't want to have a perception of like a perfect life or nothing like that. I definitely just want to keep it real and authentic with y'all. So it's just gonna be a lot of me just documenting my life, man. So definitely hope y'all excited to tune in, man, because I'm excited to start popping out with the camera, man. And it's gonna be a lot of different stuff. I'm definitely gonna be talking about God a lot, because I'm definitely at a very pivotal point in my relationship with God as well, because I am just truly starting to build my relationship with God, man. So I'm still new in some senses. I'm still growing, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people on that journey as well. So it's gonna be dope to document that and also learn from y'all too, So really, this video is just gonna be like a month in my life, man. Like I said, the ups and downs, the good days, the bad days, all that. And it's probably gonna be long, so definitely have your popcorn and your whatever you got, make sure you in a comfortable space, man. So appreciate y'all tuning in, though, for real. What's up, y'all, man? It's day 8. It's a little bit over a week into the 60 days, man. And it's been a journey, man. But today we got a couple things planned today. I'm gonna be vlogging today. I'm gonna get y'all some vlog action. So the plan for today, first off, I'm gonna be going to Seattle, and really I'm gonna just vibe out there for real. I'm gonna be in Seattle for a little bit. And then I got to get some stuff for my mom and my sister's birthday, and also my grandmother's birthday, because it's all their birthdays are back to back to back. So I'm gonna do some shopping for that. Probably go thrifting a little bit, and then grab some food out there. Just really vibe out there, you know. Usually when I go to Seattle, I just go out there, catch a cool little vibe real quick, and then nothing too much, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna vlog for y'all, get some footage, show y'all just my day for real. Y'all gonna come with me, and then yeah, other than that, I might come home. Usually at night, like that's when I study. That's when I get in my word. That's when I just be vibing when I get home at night. So I might shoot a little bit of that, get some footage of me just in here studying, I guess, and just chilling. But for the most part, it's just gonna be a little vlog footage and stuff for y'all. But before I do that though, before I just bounce out, show y'all my day and everything, I did just want to give y'all a recap or just like an update on where I'm at and just how the past couple of days have been, you feel me? So really, like, I've been isolated for real. Like this whole time, I just been kind of to myself, and like that's how I am. That's how I am as a person. Like I really just be solo dolo. But right now, like yo, I've really been like solo dolo, like really just all the way to myself. So it's like it's been teaching me a lot. It's been like I've been seeing a lot. I've been realizing a lot just being alone, and just like the power of being alone. Cause like there is really a power of just being to yourself, you know. Like I don't think like it's bad to be to yourself. I feel like at some point you gotta be around company and be around people and be around community. But I feel like being alone is very important, because like especially when you're trying to walk and when you're trying to start your walk with God, like I am, like being alone, I feel like that's when God really like he has the time to mold you and like work on you and break down all the issues you got, all the things that you need to work on. You start to realize a lot of that when you're alone. So like that's really just like the journey I've been on right now, you know, and like mainly finding myself for real, like really just learning myself and like learning to love myself, because that's real important, bro. Like especially in relationships with friends, family, and like love interests and stuff like that. Like you definitely gotta love yourself, because like that's so important. You know, the Bible says like love your neighbor as you love yourself, you feel me? So you gotta love yourself and know yourself, because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're not gonna be able to love other people correctly, you feel what I'm saying? So I've been learning that. I've been learning like, yo, I really gotta like find myself and really like truthfully love myself, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be able to love nobody truthfully in the right way if I don't have that within myself, period. Like that gotta be first. I gotta make that a priority. And then just like knowing myself and knowing what my purpose is and what my will is, for at least God's will for me, and like what direction he wants me to go. So it's like I feel like you gotta kind of know yourself and have some type of understanding of yourself at least, because like I feel like finding yourself and just knowing yourself, I feel like that's a never-ending journey. Like you're always renewing and reinventing yourself and figuring out new things, because at the end of the day, me now, I feel like I'm gonna be different now between how I am now and then like when I'm like 40 or like when I'm bald, bro. I feel like it's gonna be a whole different vibe when I chop off this hair and stuff. Like it's gonna be a whole different me. So it's like I feel like you always continue to learn yourself, and it's a never-ending journey, you know. But it's a scary journey as well, because I feel like for me, getting to know myself, I low-key had to die to myself. And that's another thing you got to do when you trying to step into a journey of following God and walking with God. Like you kind of got to die to yourself in a way, because a lot of the things I was into and a lot of the things I believed in and just how I was moving, that was all me. That was all like my logic and how I move and what I think. And then I had to realize like, yo, how I think is not how God sees things, and that's not the same. Our intentions and the way we see things and the way we do things, it's really not the same as how God may see things. So it's like you kind of do gotta die to yourself in a way, and then learn these new ways and learn these new perspectives and learn these new mindsets, and then move that way, you know. But I feel like that doesn't necessarily mean like you just can't be yourself no more, right? I was watching this video earlier, right, by Tim Ross. He got this podcast and everything. I'll put a clip of the video. But basically, he was interviewing this pastor, right? And he was talking about just how, like, yo, you might have to die to yourself, but like all your desires and all these things that are on your heart, God is going to give that to you once you submit and once you follow God. Like, none of that's going to go away. It's just the things that really aren't truly helping you that you think are, because that's how you are and that's what you're comfortable in and that's what you know and that's what you've been doing. Some of that stuff got to go. And it's like, when you alone, you to yourself, back to the point, when you just on your own and solo dolo, that's when you start to realize and see a lot of these things just shutting off you, bro. And you start to like see like, oh damn, like I got a whole new perspective. I got a whole new like heart. I got a whole new type of empathy and compassion for people. It's crazy, but it's really like that's why I say it's a scary journey, because you feel like you losing yourself, but you really finding yourself. Really, like you truthfully finding yourself. And I had wrote down a couple things, and just like, yeah, the comfortability of like you being you and having to switch that is so uncomfortable when you have to make that transition, because you're just used to being you. I was so used to like just me doing me and me doing everything that I was used to, you know. So like right now I had to cut out a lot. Like even just this past weekend, it was even before this past week, even before I decided to do the whole 60 days, I was already starting my journey and cutting out a lot of things in my life, right? So just to be fully transparent, like the two major things I cut out of my life is I stopped smoking weed, and then I just started my celibacy journey. So, I mean, with weed, I don't see nothing wrong. I don't see nothing too crazy like wrong with it, and I don't judge nobody. But just for me, I just felt like it had a control over me that I didn't like, and it's like, yo, you're not supposed to let anything have that type of control over you, at least for me. So it's like I just kind of had to dead that, man. And honestly, I just started to realize my vibe without all that is like way better. It's way better just me, just like my whole vibe, just waking up doing me. Like I started realizing like, all right, I'm comfortable without even having to go do that, you know. Even though like, yeah, there's still that pull and there's still that like I might want to go do that. It's nah. I know my vibe right now. I like my vibe. I like just waking up, being me and doing me without having to add anything else to it, you know. And then just as far as like my celibacy journey, man, it's been I'm like a month in, and it's like personally I wanted to do that because for me in my life, bro, I got introduced to porn in like the 6th grade, bro. I was 12 years old, bro. And yo, since then I started indulging in sex in probably like high school. And literally from 12 to about a month ago, there hasn't been like a break. There hasn't been like a point where like I had self-control in that area, right? But as far as like porn, that's not really an issue for me. That hasn't really been an issue for me, at least right now. But like just indulging in sexual intercourse, like yeah, that's something that I felt like I kind of had to give up, just because, yo, I mean, for one, for me, I'm trying to start this walk with God, and I'm on this walk with God, and at the end of the day, like you have to have self-control in that area. So I mean, I had to go celibate at the end of the day, because I'm not married. I haven't found the one yet, so I gotta kind of wait until that point. So for me, that's just a personal choice. I decided, yo, I kind of want to wait. Mainly just because I've seen what creating those soul ties does before marriage, bro. And it's crazy. It's crazy when you just indulging in sexual intercourse and you not with one person, and it's the person that you about to spend the rest of your life with. It's a dangerous game, man. At least for me. So like, I just felt like, yo, I need to fall back and just let that go. Because at the end of the day, I don't really have self-control in that area. And I feel like I'm growing in that area. I feel like now there is a lot more self-control in that area. And this is something low-key, like I used to joke about this, but I always had a feeling I would end up like kind of taking this route, because I have taken like little month breaks or something like that, but not really intentionally saying, yo, I'm done. I'm about to wait until I find the one and we lock it in. So it's like, that's a whole new route, but I'm committed to it. And it's new, it's different, but it's something I feel like I did have to do for real, because I kind of seen what it was doing to me, yo. Like, it was getting to a point where I low-key felt drained, man. Like, I felt drained, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I just felt like I was allowing my urges and just my wants to like control me all the way. And I just had to chill, because now that I'm saying and deciding to put things aside, I'm starting to see like that really had control over me. That really was making me do things that I might not have been wanting to do. And it's like now that that's not there, it's a lot more space to focus on other things and put that energy into other things. Because at the end of the day, like, you release an energy when you indulge in sexual intercourse. So it's like, you could also put that energy into way other things, creativity, just, you know, if you play sports, if you do art, you know, you make music, you could put that energy into those things and get that same type of relief, you know. But people don't really, at least me, I'm not going to talk about other people. I didn't really realize that. I felt like this is something I needed in my life, because that's how I grew up, bro. Like, literally 6th grade, that's been implemented in my mind, bro. Like, you step into high school and you still a virgin, like, you weird. Or you not there yet, you not cool. So it's like, yo, I literally spent a good majority of my life thinking, yo, this is something I'm supposed to be doing, and this is something, if I'm not doing, like, I'm goofy or something. But I just started to realize, like, yo, that's not the case. And that's another thing with dying to yourself. It's like, you kind of gotta, a lot of your ideas and the way you see things, it kind of gotta go, because now you're starting to see it how God sees it. You're starting to see it more so from a different perspective than what you have always been fed and what you've always thought yourself, right? And that's what is big when you on your walk with God. I'm not trying to be too preachy, but hey, if you on this channel, I'm gonna talk about God at the end of the day. So, you know, the Bible also says, there's a way to the man that seemeth right, but it only leads to death, right? So I feel like, in my perspective, I feel like the Bible, it's really saying, you know, to us, we always gonna have a way. We always gonna have an explanation. We always want an explanation, and we always want to see things the way we see it. But really, that's not how it's supposed to be, you know? And if you follow how you see things, it's gonna get to a point where, like, you get led to these dead ends, and you get led to these points where there's no fulfillment, and you get led to these points where you feel drained, or you feel depressed, or you feel confused, because you're always moving off of what you think and what your emotions are, right? You gotta have self-control over your emotions, right? You gotta move by faith and by the Spirit, not by what you see and what you think, you feel me? So that's real big, and that's something I've really been realizing just in this time being alone. It's like, yo, I can't really lean on my emotions. I can't really lean on what I'm thinking or what I see. I gotta have faith right now, and I gotta submit and obey and just keep walking on this journey, right? Enough of me yapping my mouth, man. I'm gonna show y'all some vlog footage. We gonna get up out of here.
The reason.
Alright, so we in Seattle, man. I used to have a studio out here, so I used to run a little recording studio, so I just pulled up over here to get some free parking real quick. And then I'm gonna be riding the little scooters they have in the city. I'm gonna be taking those around the city, so I'm gonna just take y'all with me to do that. Let's get to it. y'all. I just wanted to hop on real quick just to talk to y'all real quick. Mainly because I did tell y'all I was gonna record also my bad days as well. I was gonna come out here on my bad days as well. But I wouldn't necessarily say today was like a bad day because the day's not even over yet. But I don't know. I just felt like my vibe was a little bit off, throughout the start of my day for real. And yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and just just be real about it for real. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, I just had a terrible morning or just like a terrible day, but I could definitely tell like my mood was a little off and I wasn't really in motion how I usually am, but I feel like it's very important that you gotta find like a middle ground for real, because you can't be too good on the good days and too bad on the bad days, because I don't know, if you're too high on your highs, it's gonna be hard to handle the lows. So that's something I'm working on personally. Like, I just want to make sure I have like a medium, I guess you could say, just as far as like, I don't want to be too good on my good days, because then I know, and then when the bad day comes, I'm not going to be able to handle it. So, I mean, today, one thing I did just to like, I still got out the house. I went to go take a walk and stuff. So I know like doing stuff like that helps with me. Like, I might just go take a walk, go take a drive or something, just listen to music, listen to a podcast, anything but staying in the crib and just like being in the house is better than, it's better to leave the house and go do something and get out and at least try and like pick yourself up than just like beat yourself down the whole day. So truthfully, I like I said, I wouldn't say it's a bad day because I still got a whole day ahead of me. I'm probably about to go pull up on my cousin and stuff and just, try and stay in motion, because at the end of the day, like I said, you don't want to be too low on your low days. So for me, I just always want to make sure, even if I'm not in my best vibe, all right, let me try and go do something. Let me try and just, pick myself up. So, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a bad day. I just feel like I was just kind of in my head a little bit to start the day. And, things are picking up. I took a little walk and it felt good. I was listening to a sermon and just kind of took a little walk and got my mind off things. So, I just wanted to be transparent with y'all, let y'all know, how I'm feeling and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just moving forward. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. I'm not necessarily just bummed out or nothing. Like, I'm Gucci. Like, at the end of the day, I'm Gucci. It was just, my vibe was a little off this morning. Like, that's one thing about me. I could tell if my vibe's off, I can't fake it. Like, it's hard for me to just fake it like I'm good. Like, I just have to address it. Like, yo, my vibe is all the way off. So what are we gonna do to not necessarily fix it, but like just address it? Because I don't like ignoring myself. I don't like ignoring my emotions or ignoring how I feel and just kind of like pushing through it, or just ignoring it and just pushing it to the side. Because then at the end of the day, you're gonna have to face it. You're gonna have to face how you're feeling. You're gonna have to face what you're thinking. So the best things for me on days like this is taking walks, going and like being around family, being around friends, just being around people, or even sometimes being to myself helps better on like my bad days. Sometimes just taking that time to be to myself is better, but I also do like being around company when you're not having the best day, like going, talking to people and just interacting. Because, even when I was taking a walk, I was interacting with people, seeing people on the trail, like stuff like that does help your day, at least for me. So it's actually the next day. I didn't really have a chance yesterday to film this, so I just decided I'm not gonna force it. I'm gonna wait till the next day. So it's the next day. It's day 16. So what I really wanted to talk to y'all about was just being comfortable being you, because I've had a lot of time to like self-reflect, and honestly, I was driving around the other day just thinking about this, and I honestly feel like a lot of my life I was never really comfortable being me. Honestly, I think it was like I could really tell a specific point in my life where it shifted from me just being me authentically to me just following the influences and just following the world. Because at the end of the day, if you in this world, I feel like we all just kind of influence at the end of the day. Because we live off information, we live off influence, we live off what we're seeing, we live off how we raise, we live off what's around us and stuff. So I feel like at a certain point for me, I could tell like a distinctive point where it kind of shifted, I feel like for me, it was kind of around high school where it started becoming, I was more so just in this world doing what everybody else was doing, and from that point, I don't think it was like intentional. I don't think it was anything malicious, but I know it became me more so just kind of being what everybody needed me to be, just kind of being what every room I was in, I was who they needed me to be type vibes. So at the time, I don't think I necessarily knew or just kind of intentionally was trying to be different or anything like that. I just think I was just heavily influenced by just trying to just catch up, and especially with me, I really knew how to adapt, bro. Like I knew how to adapt to just everywhere I was going, especially since I was moving around a little bit. I went to like 3 different high schools. So especially when I moved to Washington, that's when like it became, I was just trying to catch up, because at the end of the day, I moved out here. It's a whole different culture. And then on top of that, I'm kind of going back and forth from here to my city. So I'm going back to my city. I'm trying to be on what they on too. So it was just a lot of me just being what everybody needed me to be, So I experienced a lot of just, if, hey, they smoking weed, I'm trying to smoke weed. Oh, they going to parties, I'm trying to go do the parties. They stealing, I'm trying to be stealing, they in the streets, I'm trying to be in the streets, So it was a lot of that, man. And then on top of that, I feel like for me, I kind of fit the criteria of just like, I kind of look like the cool kid, like I'm tall, dark skinned, I play basketball, I play all the sports. So it was easy for me to just fit in every kind of circle, I could be with the hoopers, I could be with the hood dudes, I could be with the nerds, I could get around the teachers and be proper, because I wasn't dumb in high school. So, and then I could come home and just be the good kid that's not really doing too much, but once I get out the crib, I'm just trying to just be in the mix, trying to be on what everybody else on. So I experienced a lot of that just kind of going through high school. And I feel like even after high school, because right now in my life is the first like point in my life where I really got time to like self-reflect and see that, oh, okay, these are the things that I picked up along the way that wasn't necessarily me, and it's hard to notice that when you in it and you just trying to play catch up with everybody. So I feel like for me, what really helped me get out of that and start getting comfortable being me is taking that time to self-reflect and kind of just cutting people off a little bit. I wouldn't say cutting people off, because at the end of the day, ducking off and spending time with yourself isn't necessarily cutting people off. And your real friends, they're gonna understand. They're gonna understand when you got to take that time to yourself, So the reason I really wanted to talk about that was just because I know there's other people that's probably going through that, and I feel like the best way to go about just kind of getting out of the mix and really getting comfortable being yourself is really spending that time in solitude and spending that time with yourself and with God too, for real. Because at the end of the day, you spend time with yourself and God, that's when you're really gonna start to align with what God's will is for you and just what you want for your life in general too. Because there's no influences, you're not following nobody, it's just you. It's you and God, And that's kind of the phase I'm in right now. It's just, I'm getting real comfortable with just getting back to just being me, you know, because before that point where I just started following and just being heavily influenced, yo, I was cool with I used to just go play basketball, come home, that's that. Like, I'm hopping on my PS2 that I had at the time, and that's that, bro. Like, I didn't need much else, you know, because me at a young age, bro, when my friends was going to smoke weed, I'm like, yo, I'm going home, you know. I was not really just falling in line with stuff, but it got to a point where, like I said, I was being who everybody needed me to be, you know. And that led me to fall into a lot of stuff that wasn't me, and pick up a lot of the worldly stuff that wasn't me. And I feel like just giving yourself time to self-reflect and giving yourself time to just be to yourself is gonna allow you to see what you picked up along the way, and see what wasn't really you, but you kind of just picked it up because that's what you was around. That's what, you know, you might have been raised that way. It's what it is when you in this world, because at the end of the day, like, as humans, I feel like we adapt. We easily pick up what's around us. We pick up what everybody else is doing. So I don't think it's a bad thing if you on that type vibe, but I definitely feel like you should take time to self-reflect and spend time with yourself, because, like I said, it's you and you. It's you and you. There's no influence. There's nobody you seeing, you know, on whatever type time they on. And another big thing is social media, man. I cut out social media. The main reason I gotta be on social media is just because of like business and stuff like that. So I be on it, but I don't be on it just scrolling and just. At the end of the day, when you're on social media, I know a lot of people say this, but you're just seeing everybody's highlights. You're seeing everybody's life in kind of a fake way. So it's very easy to just feel like you catching up, or you want to just follow what everybody else is doing. When high key, that's not really their life, you know. So I feel like social media is a big thing too, because I was heavily influenced by just trying to catch up on social media, yo, and just trying to be on what everybody else was on. And that's not how you want to live your life at the end of the day. So I just feel like, man, if you're going through that, bro, take that time to yourself, you know. I don't want to push God on nobody, but spend time with God, man, you know. At least try it. At least, you know, see what it's about. Because I'm telling you, bro, like, you're gonna start to find yourself. You're gonna start to get comfortable. You're gonna start to just really just genuinely be happy, just and content with just where you at, and the growth that you gotta start to, you know, kind of try and accomplish, you know, try and get that growth out of what you're so used to, and what you're kind of just been following or just been influenced by, you know. Because at the end of the day, man, we are just kind of a reflection of each other, you know. So if you're just out here in this world and you're heavily seeing people, heavily influenced by people, you're always around people, you're gonna pick up things from other people, because we are reflections of each other. You're gonna pick up how other people are living, and you're gonna be interested in it, because, hey, if you in a room and everybody's doing something, unless you just a very like comfortable person with yourself, and you just, you know, you're not really with the whole what's it called social I don't even know, but if you're just not heavily influenced like that, of course it's gonna be easy for you to be like, I'm gonna just do me. But the average person is gonna fall into just what their environment's doing. You know, you're gonna be a product of your environment. So I feel like, honestly, if you just find yourself not really comfortable being you, then take that time to yourself. Start being a loner a little bit. You don't gotta be a loner, but at least take that time to yourself, man. Self-reflect and just kind of try and see, what did you pick up along the way? Because we all pick something up along the way. We all pick something up along the way. So try and figure out what it is that was you, and what it is that you picked up from just being out here. Because I picked up a lot, and I'm putting a lot of that down. You know, I'm just trying to really just focus on, all right, what is me? And then sometimes even what you picked up is more comfortable than what was you before you started picking things up, you know, because you get so used to just being in the world's way that it gets comfortable. Like that starts to become you in a sense. But it's really not, and I'm not gonna tell you who you are, but for me it's like, yo, I know a lot of the stuff I picked up is not me. I know a lot of that is just, it was what I picked up. It was just what was around me. So I just had to realize that and just start to pick those things and just really pick at them and start to see and cut those things out to see, I could really live without that. You know, I could really not be on that type of time, and it's me, and I'm comfortable with it, you know? So that's really all I wanted to talk about, man. So if you're going through that, hey, I'm always here. You can hit me up, you know? And also being in community too. Along with being like to yourself, I feel like community is still good in a sense to, if you have genuine people around you that you can talk to and give real advice, you know?
The reason.
On the backside of the desert, I mentioned David in a Judean hillside, because God goes looking for leaders.
Yo, what's good, y'all, man? It's day 30, man, and if you tuned in at this point, man, you a real one, so I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I didn't really have too much going on today. I was really just chilling with the fam, chilling with my little siblings and stuff, just playing around, so I didn't really have too much to film, but, man, like I said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. And honestly, man, just, yo, let me know in the comments, man, what y'all want to see on this channel, man, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'm definitely gonna tune into the criticism and definitely, you know, use it to improve and just, you know, come crazier, man, because I'm gonna be consistent, bro. Y'all just seeing the beginning, so definitely let me know in the comments how y'all feeling, man. But like I said, man, I appreciate y'all to the fullest, man, for tuning in. It's love on this side, man.